Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This time we're taking a look at something pretty exciting, actually.
Hmm.
AI and how it's really changing the world of software testing. You know, all that stuff that happens in the background to make sure that the apps and software we all use every day actually, works properly.
Yeah.
We've been digging into some recent research, and it looks like AI is really poised to, I don't know, like completely change the game here.
It really is. It's
We'll even be diving into how some of the big players, companies like Netflix and Google, are already using AI to like squash bugs and, make their stuff better.
right. So what we're seeing is this is really a fundamental shift in how software testing is done. I mean, the way it used to be, like people, actual humans, would just sit there clicking through apps,
Right.
trying to find all the problems, and it was slow. And honestly, you'd probably miss things. I mean, it was just
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Tedious. Then we had automation come along. That was, I mean, a huge step forward, like using a magnet to find a needle in a haystack.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, right. But it still only works, if the needle's metal.
Hmm.
And that's where AI comes in. It's like,
So it's a super magnet.
yes, a super-powered magnet, right? It can find any needle no matter what it's made of, and even predict where those needles are going to be even before you start looking.
Okay, wow. So you're talking about like moving from manual testing to a totally like AI powered approach.
Yeah.
But I guess what does that actually look like? You know?
Well, there's a couple of really key AI superpowers that we need to talk about here.
Okay, lay it on me.
All right. Machine learning, or ML, and then there's natural language processing, NLP.
All right, so break down machine learning for me first.
Okay, so ML, it's all about the data.
Okay.
AI algorithms, they analyze mountains and mountains of data from all the tests that have been done in the past, user behavior, code changes, all that.
To identify patterns and try to predict where those bugs are likely to show up.
Oh, so it's like having a system that learns from all the mistakes it's made or other people have made so it doesn't make them again?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about preventing those problems before they even happen.
I read that Facebook actually uses AI to constantly monitor its platform in real time to like look for bugs. I mean, given how massive Facebook is, that's got to be a huge help.
Oh, yeah. AI is like having an army of tireless little assistants working around the clock.
Yeah,
Humans just, I mean, we can't keep up with that.
not even close. Okay, so what about this natural language processing?
NLP.
Yeah, NLP. It seems like it's like AI learning to understand how we talk, how we write. How does that even work in software testing?
So think of it like this. NLP is AI's way of reading and understanding human language,
Okay.
just like a human tester would.
Yeah.
It can go through all those documents, like user stories, even comments in the code,
Yeah.
and it can figure out like what needs to be tested.
Yeah. So it's sifting through all that jargon and pulling out what's actually important? That's wild.
It really is. I mean, think about it. A tester gets this huge document explaining all these new features for an app. NLP can help AI go through it, figure out the important stuff, even like generate the test scripts automatically.
Wow.
Then the human tester, they can focus on, more interesting things that AI can't do yet. Like, is the user experience good? Does the app make sense? Stuff like that.
So AI is doing all the boring stuff and humans are doing the creative stuff? Cool. But okay, so we've talked a lot about like the potential of AI and all that, but are companies actually doing this stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Our research mentions some pretty cool case studies, like there's one about Netflix. What are they doing?
Netflix. They are a fantastic example of AI in action. They use it for what's called regression testing.
Okay, what's that?
So that's basically making sure that when you change something, add some new code,
Yeah.
that it doesn't break all the stuff that was already working.
Oh, right, right.
Which, with a platform as huge as Netflix, like think about it, millions of users, constant updates,
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
it would be impossible to do manually.
Yeah. So how does AI help them with this?
Okay, so their AI algorithms, they look at past test results and all the changes in the code, and get this, they can actually predict which parts of the system are most likely to break when they add something new.
No way.
Yeah. And then they can like prioritize the tests based on risk. So they focus on the most important stuff first,
Mm.
which means faster testing, faster releases, and, less glitches for us when we're trying to, binge watch our favorite shows.
Oh, I see. So AI is working in the background to make sure my weekend binge watching goes smoothly.
You got it.
Perfect. Okay, so besides Netflix, the research also mentioned IBM and Microsoft are using AI in their testing too. What's going on there?
So IBM's using its Watson technology. You might remember Watson from when it won Jeopardy a while back.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So they're using Watson to manage and update all the test scripts. And it uses NLP, remember that,
Uh-huh.
to actually change those scripts automatically when the app's interface gets updated.
So nobody has to sit there and like rewrite everything by hand.
Exactly. It's all automated, super efficient.
That sounds like a dream. Okay, what about Microsoft? What are they up to?
They are all about deep learning. That's like, super powerful version of machine learning that can find really, really complex patterns in data.
Uh-huh.
And they've basically trained these deep learning models on tons and tons of data about past bugs to help them find new bugs.
Okay. And that's working.
Working amazingly well.
Uh-huh.
Their bug detection rates have gone way up, so their software is much more stable and reliable now.
All right, so it's clear AI is like really making a difference in how companies are testing their software, automating stuff, predicting problems, even updating those scripts. But I mean, nothing's perfect, right? There's got to be some downsides or challenges with this.
Right. AI, it's not a magic bullet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest problems is, well, it's expensive.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
If you want to use all these fancy AI tools, you got to pay for them. You need the right software, the powerful hardware, and then you need people who know how to use it all.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially for like smaller companies. That could be a real barrier.
Absolutely. And that's not the only challenge. Another big one is that AI is really dependent on data.
What do you mean?
Like, to make it work, you need a ton of data for the AI to learn from.
Yeah.
And if a company doesn't have enough data, or the data is like messy and doesn't really make sense,
Mm-hmm.
the AI might not work very well. It's kind of like, feeding it junk food.
Yeah, garbage in, garbage out. Right.
Exactly. You need good quality data to
Yeah.
get good results from AI. So that's a major hurdle for a lot of companies.
It makes sense. So it's not just like having the AI, you need to have like the right food, the right data to train it properly. So is that it? Or are there any other like limitations that we should be thinking about?
Oh, there's definitely more. AI, it's still,
Yeah.
it's pretty limited when it comes to like really complex stuff.
Hmm.
It's great at, repetitive tasks, like I said,
Uh-huh.
things that are pretty predictable. But when you throw in like really complex scenarios or things where you need human like intuition,
Yeah.
it can struggle. Like, for example, think about testing like the look and feel of a user interface
Yeah.
or how easy an app is to use. AI can't really tell you that. You
Hmm.
still need a human to look at it and say, well, this looks good or this is confusing.
Okay, yeah. So AI can look at the code and find like those technical bugs.
Right.
But it can't tell us if something is like visually appealing or user friendly. That still needs a human touch.
It does. And I don't think that's ever going to go away completely. It's
Hmm.
really about finding like the right balance.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not like AI versus humans. It's more like how do they work together to do the best job possible?
Exactly. Leverage the strengths of both.
Yeah.
So you've got AI handling the heavy lifting, the repetitive stuff. And then you've got humans focusing on the things that AI, can't do yet.
It's like a team effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect team. So now that we've talked about all the good stuff and the bad stuff with AI in testing, I think it's time to, look ahead. What's coming next?
Yeah, let's talk future. What's on the horizon for AI and software testing?
Oh, so many exciting things. One thing that researchers are working on is like AI-driven test data generation.
Okay, what's that?
So right now, one of the biggest challenges for AI is getting enough good quality data to learn from, right?
Mhm.
We talked about that.
Right, yeah.
But imagine if like the AI could actually generate its own test data.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this like synthetic data would mimic real world scenarios, but without using any actual user data. So it solves the privacy issue too.
That's brilliant. So like instead of relying on existing data, which might be limited or have privacy concerns, AI could just create its own data that's like perfectly tailored for testing.
Exactly. Like imagine AI generating these huge data sets that perfectly represent your users, but you're not actually using anyone's real information. It's all made up.
That sounds incredible. So more data, better testing, and no privacy risks. Sign me up.
Right. I know.
I see.
It's like the holy grail of test data. And then there's this other thing, even more like futuristic, almost science fiction,
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
autonomous testing. So basically you've got AI not just running tests, but also looking at the results, figuring out if the tests need to be changed, even creating new tests all on its own.
Oh, wow. Like completely hands-free.
Pretty much. Minimal human intervention.
Okay, so if AI is doing literally everything, what would humans even be doing at that point?
Well, that's a good question. One idea is that human testers would become more like AI trainers.
Oh, interesting.
Teaching the AI how to think like a human, how to like anticipate problems, and deal with unexpected situations. So instead of running tests, we'd be teaching the AI how to run them.
Okay, so it's like a shift in focus. Instead of doing the work, humans are teaching the AI to do the work.
Exactly. And then there's this idea of uh, real-time code analysis.
Real-time code analysis. What's that?
So that's like AI is looking at the code as the developer's writing it
Wow.
and like flagging any potential errors and suggesting fixes right there, right then,
So it's like a super spell checker for code.
basically.
Right.
Catching those mistakes before they even become problems.
I bet developers would love that. No more spending hours trying to figure out where they went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It would totally speed up development and you'd get much better code overall.
Mm.
And then, developers could spend more time on the fun stuff, like actually designing the software instead of just like fixing all the little errors.
It's like we're moving towards this like perfect world of software development where everything is just like smooth and efficient.
I think so. It's like combining the best of human creativity with the, incredible analytical power of AI.
We've covered a lot of ground today, starting with like, what is AI testing even to like, wow, AI is going to take over the world.
Well, maybe not quite that far.
So like big picture, what are the key takeaways here? What do you really want our listeners to remember about all this?
I think the most important thing is that, AI in software testing, it's not just some like future trend.
Right.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Companies are using it, and it's only going to become, more widespread, more powerful in the years to come.
Huh.
And it's bringing some amazing things to the table. Automation, the ability to predict problems, real-time code analysis, and who knows, maybe even fully autonomous testing one day. It's pretty exciting stuff.
It really is like the whole world of software testing is going through this like major upgrade.
Exactly. But, it's important to remember what we talked about before. AI is not perfect. It's got limitations, especially with the cost, the need for data, and handling really complex stuff. And it's not about, getting rid of humans entirely.
Right. It's all about that collaboration, humans and AI working together.
Exactly. Finding that like sweet spot where both can shine. That's where the real magic happens.
It really does feel like we're, at the beginning of something really big here, this whole idea of humans and AI working side by side to create better software.
It's definitely a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, as AI keeps getting better, smarter,
Yeah.
what will happen to all the human software testers out there?
That's a good question. I mean, will their jobs just disappear? Or will they just be doing something totally different?
Yeah, will they be more like, I don't know, AI trainers or something, teaching the algorithms to like think like a human, understand what users really want?
Right. Because AI can't really do that yet, right?
Not quite. Or maybe they'll focus more on, the creative side of things,
Yeah.
like the look and feel of the app, the user experience, things that AI still struggles with.
It's like instead of just hunting for bugs, testers will be like shaping the entire user experience. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It's like AI is taking care of all the, the boring stuff, the repetitive stuff. So humans are free to like be more creative, more strategic.
Makes you wonder what other industries are going to be like totally transformed by AI.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be seeing it everywhere in a few years. It's really just the beginning.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for, breaking it all down for us.
You got it.
I think everyone listening has probably learned a ton about AI and software testing today. And who knows, maybe the next time you're scrolling through your phone, you'll be like, hey, is AI testing this app right now?
Yeah, they might be. It's happening all around us.
Pretty cool stuff. Well, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.